There is a chapter in your life that has been quietly waiting for you to turn the page. You have felt it, haven't you? That gentle but persistent whisper telling you that something has to change, that the way you have been giving yourself away to everyone else while forgetting to save anything for your own heart, it cannot continue. This is the chapter where you choose yourself without guilt, and if that phrase alone made something stir inside your chest, then you are exactly where you need to be right now. Libra, this message was designed for you, and not by accident. The stars have been arranging something behind the scenes, something that requires you to finally understand that choosing yourself is not selfish. It is survival. It is wisdom. It is the most loving thing you can do for every single person in your life, because when you are whole, when you are filled up, when you are standing in your own truth, that is when you become truly powerful. So stay with me through every single section of this message, because each one builds on the last, and by the end you will see yourself in a way you have not seen yourself in a very long time. There are things coming for you that will reshape how you walk through this world, and it all begins with what you are about to hear. Tip 1. Stop apologizing for having needs. You have spent so much of your life smoothing things over for other people that you have forgotten what it feels like to simply say what you need without immediately following it with an apology. Think about that for a moment. When was the last time you asked for something, anything at all, without softening it, without wrapping it in so many layers of politeness that the other person barely even realized you were making a request? You do this because you were taught somewhere along the way that your needs are an inconvenience, that wanting something for yourself somehow takes away from the harmony you work so hard to maintain. But here is the truth that the universe is trying to show you right now. Your needs are not a burden. They are a signal. They are your soul telling you what it requires to keep going, to keep growing, to keep showing up for the life that is waiting for you on the other side of this transformation. Every single time you swallow what you really want to say, every time you pretend that you are fine when you are not, every time you put someone else's comfort above your own well-being, you are sending a message to the universe. And that message says, I do not matter enough to be heard. Now I know you do not consciously believe that. I know that if someone asked you directly, you would say, of course you matter. But your actions, Libra, your actions have been telling a different story. And the universe responds to actions, not intentions. It responds to what you actually do, not what you think about doing. So here is what this energy is asking of you. Start small if you need to, but start. The next time someone asks you what you want for dinner and you are about to say, oh, I do not mind, whatever you want. Stop. Actually answer the question. Say what you want. The next time someone crosses a line that makes you uncomfortable, and you feel that familiar urge to just let it go to keep the peace, stop. Say something. Not with anger, not with aggression, but with the calm, clear voice of someone who knows their own worth. Because that is who you are becoming. That is who this chapter is shaping you into. A person who can hold space for others without losing themselves in the process. The guilt you feel when you put yourself first is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. It is a sign that you are breaking a pattern, and breaking patterns always feels uncomfortable at first. It feels wrong because it is unfamiliar, not because it is bad. Think about the people in your life who you admire most. The ones who seem to have this quiet strength, this unshakable sense of who they are. Do you think they got there by always saying yes? Do you think they built that inner peace by constantly abandoning their own needs for the sake of everyone else? No, they got there by doing exactly what you are being asked to do right now. They chose themselves and they did it without guilt, and the world did not fall apart. In fact, it got better. Everything got better. And the same thing is about to happen for you if you let it. Tip 2. Release the need to be understood by everyone. There is something you have been carrying that is much heavier than you realize. And it is the desperate need to be understood by every single person in your life. You want people to see your heart. You want them to know that everything you do comes from a place of love and good intentions. And when someone misreads you, when someone takes your kindness for weakness or your silence for agreement, it eats at you. It stays with you for days, sometimes weeks. You replay conversations in your mind, thinking about what you could have said differently, how you could have explained yourself better, what words might have finally made them see the real you. But here is what the stars are revealing to you in this season. Not everyone is meant to understand you, and that is not a failure. That is freedom. When you release the need to be understood by everyone, something extraordinary happens. You stop performing. You stop editing yourself in real time, trying to figure out which version of you will be most acceptable to whoever happens to be standing in front of you. You stop exhausting yourself with explanations that the other person was never going to receive anyway, because some people are not listening to understand. They are listening to respond. They are listening to confirm what they already believe about you, and no amount of explaining is going to change that. So why are you still trying? This does not mean you stop communicating. This does not mean you wall yourself off and become cold or distant. That is not who you are, and this transformation is not about becoming someone you are not. It is about becoming more of who you already are, but without the weight, without the exhausting need to make sure everyone approves. You are allowed to be misunderstood. You are allowed to let people have their wrong opinions about you without launching a campaign to correct them. You are allowed to simply live your life, do your best, and let the people who truly see you, let them be enough. Because here is what you are going to discover as you move through this chapter. The people who are meant to understand you already do. They do not need lengthy explanations. They do not need you to justify your choices or defend your boundaries. They see you, they accept you, and they love you. Not in spite of your complexity, but because of it. Those are your people. Those are the ones worth your energy. And when you stop pouring yourself into the ones who will never get it, you suddenly have so much more to give to the ones who already do. The need to be universally understood is a trap, Libra. Keeps you small. Keeps you performing. It keeps you so busy managing other people's perceptions that you never actually get to live your own life on your own terms. And you have spent too many years in that trap already. This is the season where you walk out of it, not with anger, not with resentment, but with the quiet confidence of someone who finally realizes, I do not need everyone to understand me. I just need to understand myself. And when you get there, when you truly arrive at that place inside yourself, the peace you have been searching for in other people's approval, it will finally find you, because it was never out there. It was always in here, waiting for you to stop looking everywhere else. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Tip 3. Trust what your body already knows. You have been living in your head for so long that you have almost forgotten your body has wisdom too. And not just any wisdom. The kind of wisdom that does not need to think things over, that does not need to make a list of pros and cons, that does not need to consult with 3 different friends before making a decision. Your body knows things instantly. It knows when a situation is wrong before your mind has even started analyzing it. It knows when a person cannot be trusted before they have given you any logical reason to doubt them. It knows when you are betraying yourself because it tightens, it aches, it sends you signals that you have been ignoring for years because you told yourself those feelings were not rational enough to count. But here is the revelation that this chapter is bringing you. Rational is not the only kind of knowing that matters. In fact, some of the most important truths you will ever encounter cannot be arrived at through logic. They can only be felt. That tightness in your chest when you are about to agree to something you do not actually want to do, that is your body saying no. That heaviness in your stomach, when you are around someone who drains you, that is your body saying leave. That sudden burst of energy and lightness you feel when you finally do something purely for yourself, that is your body saying yes, more of this is the direction, keep going. You have been overriding these signals for most of your life because the world taught you to trust your mind above everything else. Think it through. Be reasonable. Consider all sides. And yes, your mind is a beautiful tool, especially for a Libra, because your capacity for seeing every angle of a situation is genuinely remarkable. But that same capacity is what keeps you stuck, because when you can see every side, how do you choose? When every option has merit, how do you move? The answer is, you stop thinking and you start feeling. You drop down out of your head and into your body and you ask yourself not what makes sense, but what feels right. Not what looks good on paper, but what makes your chest expand with something that might be excitement, might be peace, might be the simple relief of finally being honest with yourself. This is not about being impulsive. This is not about throwing caution to the wind and making reckless choices. This is about integrating a part of yourself that you have been neglecting. Your body has been through everything you have been through. It has stored every experience, every emotion, every moment of joy and every moment of pain. It has a record that your conscious mind cannot access through thinking alone. And when you learn to listen to it, when you learn to trust what it tells you even when your mind is still debating, that is when you start making decisions that actually align with who you are, not who you think you should be. So start paying attention. When you walk into a room, notice what happens in your body. When someone makes you an offer, notice where the tension shows up. When you think about the future, notice which visions make you feel expansive and which ones make you feel like you are shrinking. Your body does not lie, Libra. It cannot, does not know how. And in this chapter of your life, it is going to become one of your most trusted guides, if you finally give it permission to speak. Tip 4. Let go of the life you plan so the life that is waiting can arrive. There is a picture in your mind of how things were supposed to go. You have been carrying it for a long time, adjusting it here and there when reality forced you to, but never fully letting it go. And that picture, that carefully constructed vision of the life you thought you would be living by now, it has become a cage. Not because the vision itself was wrong, but because your grip on it is so tight that it is preventing you from seeing what is actually being offered to you right now, in this moment, in this season, in this extraordinary chapter that is unfolding, whether you are ready for it or not. Letting go does not mean giving up. This is something you need to hear very clearly, because your mind is going to try to tell you otherwise. Letting go does not mean you stop wanting good things. It does not mean you stop dreaming. It does not mean you resign yourself to a lesser life. What it means is that you open your hands. You stop gripping so tightly to the specific shape you thought your happiness was supposed to take, and you allow the universe to show you something better. Something you could not have imagined on your own, because your imagination, as beautiful as it is limited by what you already know. And what the universe knows is so much bigger than what you have experienced so far. Think about the times in your life when the best things happened. Really think about them. Were they planned? Were they part of your carefully constructed vision? Or did they arrive unexpectedly, through a door you did not even know existed, at a time when you thought everything was falling apart? Most people, when they are honest with themselves, realize that their greatest blessings came through detours, not through the direct path they had mapped out. And you are no exception. Some of the most meaningful moments of your life happen precisely because the plan did not work out. So what would happen if you trusted that process? What would happen if, instead of clutching your plan with white knuckles, you held it loosely? What if you said to the universe, "Here's what I want, but I trust you to show me what I need"? That is not weakness. That is the deepest kind of strength. It is the strength of someone who knows that they do not have to control everything in order to be safe. It is the strength of someone who understands that surrender is not the same as defeat. This chapter is asking you to be brave enough to let go of your blueprint. The relationships you thought you needed, the timeline you thought you had to follow, the milestones you thought defined your worth. They are not the only path to the life you deserve. There are other paths that are opening up right now, paths that are more aligned with who you have become rather than who you were when you first made those plans. And the only way to find them is to loosen your grip, take a deep breath, and trust that the universe has not forgotten about you. It has been working on something, Libra, something that required you to let go of the old before it could arrive. And it is almost here. You just have to make room for it by releasing what no longer fits. Tip 5. Stop keeping score in your relationships. There is a ledger in your mind, and you may not even realize it is there, but it has been running for years. Every favor you have done, every time you showed up for someone who did not show up for you, every sacrifice you made that went unnoticed, every compromise you offered that was never returned. You have been keeping track, Libra, and that invisible ledger has been poisoning your relationships from the inside out. Not because you are petty, not because you are vindictive, but because keeping score is the only way you have known how to protect yourself from the pain of giving too much and getting too little in return. But here is what this chapter is showing you. Keeping score does not protect you, traps you. It turns every interaction into a transaction. It makes you calculate the cost of every act of kindness, measure the return on every investment of your time and energy. And when the numbers do not add up, which they never do because love is not math, you feel resentful. You feel used. You feel like you are always the one carrying the heavier load. And that resentment, that quiet bitterness that you try so hard to hide behind your smile, it is eating you alive. The truth is, relationships will never be perfectly balanced. There will always be seasons where you are giving more, and seasons where you are receiving more. There will be times when you carry someone through their darkest hour, and times when someone carries you through yours. But if you are keeping score the whole time, You will never actually be present for any of it. You will be so busy tracking who owes what that you will miss the love that is right in front of you. You will miss the small gestures, the quiet moments of genuine connection, the beauty of simply being with someone without calculating whether the exchange is fair. So how do you stop? You start by making a conscious choice about who gets your energy. Not everyone in your life deserves the same level of investment, and that is not cruel. That is wise. Some people have shown you over and over again that they will take everything you offer without ever giving anything back. Those are not your people. You do not owe them your endless generosity, and keeping score with them is just your soul's way of telling you that the relationship is not reciprocal. Listen to that signal. But the people who do show up for you, the ones who may not keep score in exactly the same way you do but who love you in their own genuine way, those are the ones to pour into freely, without a ledger, without a calculation, without a running total of who did what last. When you let go of the scoreboard, something miraculous happens. Your relationships start to breathe again. They become lighter, more authentic, more joyful. You stop approaching love as a contract and start experiencing it as a flow. And in that flow, you will find that you receive more than you ever did when you were counting. Because the universe rewards open hands, not clenched fists. This is your season to release the ledger, Libra. Burn it. Let it go. And watch how your connections transform when you stop measuring and start simply loving. Tip 6. Give yourself permission to change your mind. You have made so many decisions in your life based on what you thought you were supposed to want, and now some of those decisions feel like chains. The career path you committed to because it seemed like the responsible choice. The relationship you stayed in because you said you would. The beliefs you held on to because changing them felt like admitting you were wrong. But here is what this transformation is revealing to you. Changing your mind is not a weakness. It is evidence of growth. And the people who never change their minds are not strong. They are stuck. You live in a world that rewards consistency, and as a Libra, you already struggle with the fear of being seen as indecisive. So when you finally do make a decision, you grip it with everything you have, terrified that if you change course, people will say they knew it all along, that you cannot make up your mind, that you are flaky or unreliable. But that fear has kept you locked into choices that no longer serve you, living a version of your life that fits the person you were 5 years ago, but not the person you are becoming right now. Growth requires course correction. Every living thing that grows changes direction. Trees do not grow in perfectly straight lines. Rivers do not flow in straight channels. They bend, they curve, they find the path of least resistance, and no one calls them indecisive. No one looks at a river and says it cannot make up its mind. They admire its ability to adapt, to find a way forward no matter what obstacles appear. And that is exactly what you are doing when you change your mind. You are adapting. You are evolving. You are honoring the fact that you know more now than you did when you made that original decision. Give yourself permission to want different things than you wanted last year. Give yourself permission to outgrow relationships, jobs, habits, and beliefs that once felt like home but now feel like cages. Give yourself permission to say, I thought I wanted this, but I have learned something new about myself and now I want something different. That is not betrayal. That is not failure. That is the most honest thing a human being can do. To admit that they are not the same person they were yesterday and to make choices that reflect who they are today. This chapter is going to ask you to change your mind about several things, and some of those changes will surprise you. Some will come easily, like a breath you did not know you were holding finally being released. Others will feel terrifying because they involve admitting things to yourself and to other people that you have been avoiding for a long time. But every single one of those changes is moving you closer to the life that is meant for you. The real one. The one that fits. Not the one that looks good from the outside but feels hollow on the inside. The one that makes your soul say, yes, this, finally this. Trust the changes, Libra. They are not signs that something is wrong. They are signs that something is very, very right. Tip 7. Reclaim your mornings before the world takes over. There is a pattern in your life that you may not have noticed, or maybe you have noticed it but dismissed it as unimportant. It is the way you start your day. And the way you start your day, Libra, is setting the tone for everything that follows, whether you realize it or not. If the first thing you do when you open your eyes is reach for your phone, scroll through messages, check what everyone else is doing and saying and needing from you, then you have handed your energy over before you even got out of bed. You have made everyone else's priorities your priorities before you even had a chance to remember what your own priorities are. This chapter is asking you to reclaim your mornings. Not in some complicated, expensive, wake up at 4 in the morning kind of way. Not with elaborate rituals that require equipment you do not have or time you cannot spare. Just give yourself the first minutes of the day. Before the texts, before the news, before the endless scroll of other people's lives and opinions. Give yourself even just 15 minutes where you are the only voice in your own head. Where you can sit with yourself, breathe, feel your own body, remember what matters to you, set an intention for the kind of day you want to have, not the kind of day the world is going to demand from you. You might think this sounds too simple to matter. You might think that 15 quiet minutes in the morning cannot possibly make a real difference in the grand scheme of your life. But you would be wrong, and I say that with absolute certainty because the morning is not just the start of your day. It is the foundation upon which every single thing that follows is built. When you start your day in a state of reaction, responding to everyone else's needs before you even know your own, you spend the entire day playing catch up with yourself. You feel scattered, overwhelmed, pulled in too many directions because you never set your center. You never planted your feet. You just started running the moment your eyes opened. And by the time you finally stopped, you could not remember why you were running or where you were trying to go. But when you start your day with intention, when you take those quiet minutes to connect with yourself before the world floods in, everything changes. You move through the day from a place of choice rather than reaction. You respond instead of react. You know what matters to you, so when something comes along that does not align, you can let it pass without getting pulled into it. You feel more like yourself, more grounded, more present, more capable of handling whatever comes your way. Not because the day is any easier, but because you started it from a place of strength instead of a place of scramble. Try it, Libra. Tomorrow morning, before you pick up your phone, before you check anything, before you say a word to anyone, sit with yourself for 15 minutes. Breathe. Feel your feet on the floor. Ask yourself what you need today, not what everyone else needs from you. Just what you need. And then carry that answer with you through every hour that follows. You will be amazed at how different the day feels when you start it this way. And after a week of doing this, you will wonder how you ever started your day any other way. Tip 8. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to begin. You have been waiting, Libra. And you know exactly what I am talking about, even if you have not said it out loud. There is something you want to do, something you want to change, something you want to start or finish or finally address. And you have been waiting for the perfect moment to do it. The right time, the right circumstances, the right amount of energy, motivation, confidence, or clarity. You have told yourself that when things calm down, when the situation is more stable, when you feel more ready, then you will begin. But here is the truth that this chapter is forcing you to face. The perfect moment does not exist. It has never existed. It is a mirage that keeps moving further away every time you think you are getting close. And every day you spend waiting for it is a day you will never get back. You are not waiting because you are lazy. You are not waiting because you do not care. You are waiting because you are afraid. Afraid of doing it wrong. Afraid of failing. Afraid of succeeding and not knowing how to handle it. Afraid of disrupting the careful balance you have built, even though that balance is not really balance at all. It is just the absence of change, and the absence of change is not peace. It is stagnation. And stagnation, for a soul like yours, is the most painful state of all. The world does not reward people who wait for perfect conditions. It rewards people who start before they are ready and figure it out as they go. Every person you admire, every person who has built something meaningful, every person who has transformed their life in a way that inspires you, they did not wait. They started messy. They started scared. They started with half a plan and a whole lot of doubt, and they moved forward anyway. Not because they were braver than you, but because they understood something that you are only now beginning to learn. Action creates clarity. You do not get clear and then act. You act and then get clear. Movement is what reveals the path. Sitting still, no matter how much you think about it, will never show you where to go. So whatever it is that you have been putting off, whatever dream you have been holding at arm's length, whatever conversation you have been avoiding, whatever change you have been postponing, start today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Today. Take one small step. Send the message. Make the call. Write the first paragraph. Sign up for the class. Have the conversation. Do the thing that scares you, not the whole thing, just the first step. Because the first step is the hardest one, and once you take it, the second step becomes possible, and then the third, and before you know it, you are walking a path that the waiting version of you could never have imagined. This is your sign, Libra. Not tomorrow's sign. Today's sign. Right now. The perfect moment is not coming, because the perfect moment is this one, messy and imperfect and terrifying as it might be. Start anyway. Start now. And watch what happens when you finally stop waiting and start moving. Some people watch. Others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting. It's about moving. Tip 9. Protect your peace like it is sacred. You have been treating your peace like it is optional, like it is a luxury you will get around to once everything else is handled. But everything else is never going to be handled, Libra. There will always be another problem to solve, another person to help, another crisis to manage, another fire to put out. If you wait until all the chaos has cleared before you allow yourself to feel at peace, you will be waiting forever. And that is not a life. That is a sentence. Your peace is not optional. It is essential. It is not something you earn by finishing your to-do list, or by making sure everyone around you is happy first. It is something you choose every single day, by deciding what you will and will not allow into your inner world. And right now, you have been allowing far too much in. You have been absorbing other people's stress like a sponge. You have been taking on emotions that do not belong to you. You have been sitting in the middle of other people's conflicts, trying to mediate, trying to fix, trying to make everyone happy, and in the process, you have lost yourself entirely. Protecting your peace means learning to recognize the difference between what is yours and what is not. Someone else's anger is not yours to fix. Someone else's drama is not yours to manage. Someone else's inability to regulate their own emotions is not your responsibility, no matter how much they try to make it so. You can love people and still refuse to carry their baggage. You can care deeply and still maintain boundaries that keep your inner world intact. Those two things are not contradictory. They are complementary. The healthier your boundaries are, the more genuine your love becomes, because it is coming from a full cup rather than an empty one. Start paying attention to what disturbs your peace, and be ruthlessly honest with yourself about it. Is it the news you consume first thing in the morning? Is it the friend who only calls when they need to vent? Is it the family member who always finds a way to make you feel guilty? Is it the habit of saying yes when every cell in your body is screaming no? Whatever it is, name it. Look at it clearly, and then make a decision about whether you are going to keep allowing it into your life or whether you are going to protect yourself from it. Not with walls, not with coldness, but with the quiet, firm, loving boundaries of someone who knows that their peace is worth protecting. You might feel selfish at first. You might feel guilty. You might hear that voice in your head that says you are being difficult, or that you are letting people down. But that voice is lying to you, Libra. That voice belongs to the old version of you, the one who believed that her worth was measured by how much she could endure. This new chapter is writing a different story, one where your worth is measured by how fully you live, how deeply you love, and how fiercely you protect the peace that allows you to do both. Guard your peace like the sacred thing it is, because without it, nothing else matters. Tip 10. Accept that not everyone will come with you. This might be the hardest truth in this entire message, so take a breath before you keep going. Not everyone in your life right now is meant to be in the next chapter. Some of the people you love, some of the people you have invested years in, some of the people you thought would always be there, they are not going to come with you. And that is not because you failed. That is not because something is wrong with you. That is because growth changes you, and when you change, the people around you either grow with you or they grow apart from you. Both are natural. Both are normal, and both can break your heart. You have already felt this happening, haven't you? There are people in your life who used to feel like home, and now they feel like a place you have outgrown. Conversations that used to fill you up now leave you feeling drained. Connections that used to feel easy now feel like work, and you have been trying so hard to hold on to them, to bridge the gap, to be who you used to be so that the relationship can stay what it used to be. But you cannot go backward, Libra. You were not designed to shrink. You were designed to expand, and expansion sometimes means that the things that once fit perfectly no longer fit at all. Letting go of people is not the same as stopping loving them. You can love someone deeply and still recognize that your paths have diverged. You can honor everything a relationship gave you and still accept that it has run its course. You can grieve the ending and still know that it is the right one. These things can all be true at the same time, and holding that complexity is something you are uniquely equipped to do, because you understand nuance in a way that most people never will. Use that gift now. Use it to navigate these transitions with grace instead of guilt. Some people will be angry when you change. They will accuse you of thinking you are better than them. They will say you have changed like it is an insult. They will try to pull you back into the version of yourself that was easier for them to be around. But you have to let them be angry. You have to let them have their reaction without making it your responsibility to manage. Their discomfort with your growth is not your problem to solve. Your only job is to keep growing, to keep moving forward, to keep choosing the life that aligns with who you are becoming rather than who you used to be. And here is the beautiful part that you cannot see yet from where you are standing right now. As some people fall away, new ones will arrive. People who match your new energy. People who see the version of you that is emerging and celebrate it instead of resisting it. People who do not need you to be small so they can feel comfortable. Those people are coming, Libra. They are already on their way. But they cannot find you if you are hiding in old connections that keep you tethered to the past. Make room. Let go. Trust that what is leaving is making space for what is coming, and what is coming is so much better than what you are afraid to lose. Tip 11. Learn the difference between being kind and being used. Kindness is your language, Libra. It is how you move through the world, how you connect with people, how you make sense of this complicated existence. You were born with a heart that genuinely wants to help, to heal, to make things better for the people around you. And that is a beautiful thing. It is rare and precious, and the world needs more of it. But there is a line between kindness and self-abandonment, and you have been crossing it so often that you have forgotten where it is. Being kind means offering your help when you have the capacity to give it. Being used means giving even when you have nothing left, and then feeling guilty for being empty. Being kind means extending grace to someone who made a mistake. Being used means extending grace over and over again to someone who keeps making the same mistake, because they know you will always forgive them. Being kind means listening to a friend who is going through a hard time. Being used means being someone's emotional dumping ground every single day, while they never once ask how you are doing. You know the difference, Libra. You have always known the difference. But knowing it and honoring it are two very different things. Because the moment you try to pull back, the moment you try to set a limit on your generosity, the guilt floods in. You hear that voice that says, but they need me, what kind of person would I be if I said no? What if something happens and I was not there to help? And so you keep giving. You keep showing up. You keep pouring from an empty cup until you are so depleted that you cannot even help yourself, let alone anyone else. This chapter is asking you to redefine what kindness means. True kindness includes being kind to yourself. True generosity includes being generous with your own needs. True love includes loving yourself enough to say, I have given all I can today, and that is enough. You do not have to earn your place in people's lives by being endlessly useful. You do not have to prove your worth by being the one who always says yes. Your worth exists independent of what you do for other people. It exists because you exist. Period. No conditions, no qualifications, no requirements. Start noticing the patterns. Notice who calls you only when they need something and never when things are going well. Notice who disappears when you are the one struggling, but expects you to drop everything when they need support. Notice who takes your kindness for granted, who treats it as an expectation rather than a gift. And then, with all the love in your heart, start redirecting that kindness toward yourself. Not because you are becoming selfish, but because you are becoming whole. And a whole person, a person who knows their own limits and honors them, is so much more helpful to the world than a depleted one running on fumes and resentment. Be kind, Libra. Always be kind, but be kind to yourself first. Tip 12. Remember that rest is not something you earn. You have been treating rest like a reward, something you get to have once you have finished everything, once the house is clean, once the work is done, once everyone else has been taken care of. But that finish line keeps moving, doesn't it? There is always one more thing. One more task, one more favor, one more obligation. And so rest never comes, or it comes wrapped in guilt, because even when you are sitting still, your mind is racing through the list of things you should be doing instead. This has to stop. Not because it is unproductive, though it is. Not because it is unhealthy, though it certainly is that too. It has to stop because it is a lie. The idea that rest must be earned is a lie you were told by a world that measures your value by your output. A world that says you are only worthwhile when you are doing, producing, accomplishing, serving. But you are not a machine, Libra. You are a human being. And human beings require rest not as a luxury but as a necessity. Your body requires it. Your mind requires it. Your spirit requires it. And every day that you deny yourself that basic need, you are depleting a resource that cannot be replenished by willpower alone. Rest is not laziness. Say that to yourself until you believe it. Rest is not laziness. It is restoration. It is the space where your body heals, where your mind processes, where your creativity recharges, where your intuition has room to speak. Some of your best ideas, your clearest insights, your most profound realizations, they did not come to you while you were grinding away at your desk. They came to you in moments of stillness, in the shower, on a walk, in that half-awake state just before sleep. Those moments happen because your mind finally had enough space to let something through, and you cannot create that space when you are running at full speed every single waking hour. So here is what this chapter is prescribing for you, and I am not asking, I am telling. Rest. Not later. Not when you are done. Not when you have earned it. Now. Today. This week. Give yourself permission to stop before everything is finished, because everything will never be finished. That is not how life works. The to-do list is infinite, and if you wait until the end of it to rest, you will rest when you are in the ground, and that is far too late. Find the kind of rest that actually restores you. For some people that is sleep, and if you are not getting enough of it, that is the first place to start. But rest is not just sleep. Rest is reading a book with no purpose other than enjoyment. Rest is sitting outside and watching the clouds without checking your phone. Rest is saying no to plans when you are tired instead of forcing yourself to show up with a smile. Rest is letting the dishes sit in the sink for one more hour while you take a bath. Rest is doing absolutely nothing and letting that be enough. You have spent your whole life proving your worth through what you do. This chapter is asking you to discover your worth in who you are. And who you are does not require constant motion to be valuable. Tip 13. Speak the truth even when your voice shakes. There are words living inside you that have never been spoken, feelings you have swallowed, opinions you have silenced, truths you have buried so deep that even you have forgotten some of them are there. You have done this because you are a peacekeeper, and peacekeepers learn very early that the truth can be disruptive. That honesty can rock the boat. That saying what you really think might lead to conflict, and conflict is the thing you fear most because in your mind conflict means disconnection, and disconnection means loss, and loss is something you have spent your entire life trying to avoid. But here is the paradox you have been living inside. By avoiding the truth to prevent disconnection, you have created the deepest disconnection of all, the disconnection from yourself. You cannot be truly connected to anyone else when you are not connected to your own truth. Every swallowed word, every suppressed feeling, every time you said fine when you meant broken. Each of those moments put another layer between you and the people you love. They think they know you, but they only know the version you have allowed them to see, the version that is always agreeable, always accommodating, always smooth and diplomatic and never, ever uncomfortable. But that is not the whole you. The whole you has opinions that might make people uncomfortable. The whole you has needs that might inconvenience others. The whole you has anger, frustration, disappointment, and desires that do not fit neatly into the peaceful picture you have been painting for everyone. And until you let the whole you speak, you will always feel like something is missing because something is. You are missing. The real you has been sitting in the wings for years, watching the performance you have been giving the world, waiting patiently for the moment when you finally decide that truth matters more than comfort. This is that moment. Not because the stars are forcing it, though they are certainly encouraging it, but because you have reached a point where the cost of silence has become greater than the cost of speaking. The resentment that builds when you do not say what you mean. The loneliness that lives beneath the surface when no one knows the real you. The exhaustion of maintaining a version of yourself that was designed for other people's comfort, rather than your own authenticity. You have been paying those costs for too long, and this chapter is the one where you decide you cannot afford them anymore. Speak the truth, Libra, even when your voice shakes, even when you are not sure how it will be received, even when it means the end of something that was only surviving because you were willing to pretend. The people who can handle your truth are the people who deserve your presence, and the ones who cannot, they were never truly with you anyway. They were with the performance. And you deserve so much more than an audience. You deserve people who know the real you and choose to stay. There is a version of your life waiting for you that you have not dared to imagine yet. A version where you wake up in the morning and feel genuinely excited about the day ahead, not because everything is perfect, but because everything is honest. A version where the people around you know exactly who you are, not because you told them what they wanted to hear, but because you showed them the truth, all of it, even the messy parts, even the imperfect parts, even the parts that do not fit the image you have been carrying for so long. That version of your life is not a fantasy. It is a possibility, and it is closer than you think. But it requires something from you. It requires you to take everything you have heard in this message and actually use it. Not just nod along, not just feel inspired for 10 minutes before going back to your old patterns, but truly, deeply, radically apply it to the way you live your life starting today. The stars have done their part. They have arranged this moment, this message, this alignment of energy specifically for you. The universe has laid the foundation, but you are the one who has to build on it. You are the one who has to decide that this chapter is real, that this transformation is happening, and that you are not going to let it pass you by. You already know what you need to do. You have known for a long time. The question was never about knowledge. It was about courage. And the courage you need is not the loud, dramatic kind. It is not about grand gestures or sweeping declarations. It is the quiet courage of choosing yourself in 1,000 small moments. The courage to say no when you mean no. The courage to rest when you are tired. The courage to speak your truth even when it shakes the room. The courage to let go of what no longer fits, even when it was once the thing you loved most. That is the kind of courage this chapter is asking of you, and Libra, you have it. You have always had it. It has just been buried under years of putting everyone else first. This is your time. Not next month, not next year, not when the conditions are right. Right now, in this imperfect, messy, uncertain moment. This is the chapter where everything shifts, where the pattern breaks, where you finally step into the version of yourself that has been waiting in the wings all along. And when you look back on this moment, this exact moment, you will see it for what it truly was. The beginning of everything. You have two options after this video. Close it and hope things shift. Or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.